Malik or anyone else.
Luis was next, and then
I was wondering about cooperating with the institutions that already exist, like the technical schools. What are the difficulties around that? Like, did you, Jay, for D3 as well, and for even now in terms of like, if you once you go into the formal institutions, they tend to have this great, gigantic inertia. They do things their own way. They live in their own little world. How do you break that? How did you guys get the message in?
Well, we just get invited by student groups, and so we don't actually work with the professors usually. So,
yeah, I guess the way that we sort of get in to do the courses with students is by getting a professor who's excited by it. So we might send a load of emails. We might send like 30 emails to lots of different universities, and maybe 2 might write back and then say, wow, that sounds really cool. But that's because those 2 professors are excited by it. So yeah, once you've got one professor who's excited about it and you're in, then that gets the ball rolling. But with regards to then installing them, like at a couple of universities we have installed them, and that is very dependent on the estates, like the people who look after the grounds of the universities. Occasionally they are open to things like this, and the ones that we have installed, the only reason it was able to happen was because the estates of the university were synthetic, but most of the estates who look after the university grounds don't want it to go up on the ground. So,
Benoit,
sorry.
yeah. So how does Yolicol find schools to work with?
C'est comment tu trouves les projets? Comment le projet ça a été fait?
Comment on trouve le projet?
It's difficult to find a project. It's very difficult. You can know many teachers to begin a project. We have it's very difficult to have de trouver du financement et d'avoir un projet plus global qui s'intègre plus dans la France. C'est vraiment le parcours qui va chercher les projets en connaissant les professeurs. C'est plus avec les relations qu'autre chose.
C'est le problème qu'on avait avec les
problem we've had with Yolicol is that it's very difficult to do anything on the national level. So usually what we end up doing is finding an individual professor, like what Jack said. We've got a professor that is motivated by the project, and then it's going to show that to the director of the school. And then afterwards it's going to be an individual project, which is financed by that school for that project. But what we'd like to see happen over time is that we've got a national program.
In Argentina, the technical schools, they have tradition to make projects for social things, you know, so a lot of them have very motivated to do this kind of project. And also it's a good, it's a dream for us to be in the bureaucracy of these schools and to install this project like a school project. You know, every year a group of students making a wind turbine installing some blades. Also, the technical schools are like factories of windmills because they work the wood, the metal, and electricity. So they
Okay.
But at the moment, yeah, they have the tools.
Want to
lot of
that?
tools,
Who has the
materials,
microphone?
money.
A quick question, I think mainly to Jay. Can you explain this anomaly of a country with probably 100% electric distribution, and so many people interested and are willing. Why is that? Like they get very good feed-in tariffs. How does it work? Why are people so interested in it?
We do probably about half of our sites are still off-grid. Maybe the other half are on-grid, because there's still some sites that are off-grid. And off-grid sites are great because it's
out of choice, or?
No, because they just aren't connected to the grid. There's still sites in France that, well, I mean, it's a big country. It's one of the advantages in France, actually. It's got the second biggest wind resource in Europe after Scotland. Well, Scotland, there's nobody that lives there. Oh, sorry, you. In France, there's a lot of land. 53% of the land is agricultural, and then the mountains. And so a lot of the land is fairly easy to put up a wind turbine. We have a really good wind resource. And in general, it's disposable income as well. People want to learn to do things now. And I think there's a big movement in France and maybe in the rest of the world where people want to learn to do things for themselves. And so what we're selling is not really necessarily only the wind turbine, but we're selling the fact that, hey, come out with us for a week and we're going to teach you to weld, to do woodworking, to work on resin, to do electricity, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And when you're doing that for a cost of somewhere between 350 and 400 euros for the week, it's going to cost you less than taking a week of vacation somewhere in the Caribbean or in the south of France. So it's a good way to do a vacation as well. Maybe we'll stop it there, and we'll...
There are 2 or 3 more questions, and then we...
I'll make it quick. It's really interesting to see the work that you're doing in France. I mean, Argentina also, of course. But the purpose in India is to do something very similar, create a network of installers. I have a percentage of people that are trained that eventually continue to work in there. How do you encourage them, and what's your percentage? What's your return on investment?
Well, I can say that even I had one of the people that after the course, he thought he was going to start doing some training courses, and he didn't, but he called me and said, yeah, it's great, I just redid my kitchen. Great. And so that was success for me. I mean, I'm not really worried if the person's going to continue with small wind. I'm just trying to help them learn to do things and learn to become more independent, learn to do things by themselves. And so as people learn, I think it's great. I mean, all these people that are learning from this, and I'm passionate about small wind energy. And so if I can share a little bit of that passion, if it catches, great. If not, then there are a lot of other people that are there as well. And I'm not looking for really a return on investment.
Okay, so yes, we're gonna stop it there. I know there's maybe more questions. They can be answered later. We're going to move on to the last part, the round table.
Luciana, can you stay?
What does it do?
So what we are going to be talking right now is about universities, how universities are linked to
Where did you get the wind from?
So it's in between education really and R&D. So we were talking with Jay this morning about whether this is more education or R&D. And of course the 5 working groups are kind of have connecting points, and they are kind of a big mix now. So there's connecting points between all of the work groups. And this in particular, the work with universities have to do with technology and R&D, and also with education. Panos,
How do you start?
Kostras, Margalo.
Okay, well, really the problem that I have with projects in the university setting is the fact that all this cool stuff's happening and I don't know about it. And so really what I want to learn from this panel is how we can start sharing some of the information on research that's being done. And also I get contacted often by universities that want to do small wind projects. And how I put them in also in contact with other people doing projects like this in the university environment. And I think it's a really good collaborative exercise to try to work together let you guys respond to that. Whether we can use that microphone or this one. It's the problem with universities, you know.
Takes time to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I'll take this one. Is this okay? Can everybody understand me? Because I really hate these things. Or is it needed?
It's
Is it
for
recorded?
the live stream. For the live stream.
But you can just use it.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, Jay. We should, I think we can do, and I hope that before we all go home, we can come up with a better understanding of how to collaborate on that. Because I think we can do a better job in that. I've been working for 8 years in the corporate, and there they teach you how to be very structured. At least they try to teach you how to be very structured. I think clarification, the way that I see it is that I'm mainly interested for technical solutions of problems that really come from the field. So this needs to be translated in a proposal. So instead of a student coming to me like, hey, I want to do this, it would actually be great if we have proposals on the shelf. Exactly what should be delivered, how much time, And if the student comes, they have like a single point of contact who could be like the portfolio holder for all these proposals, and then see if one of these proposals match. It's like a matching agency in that sense, not boyfriend is looking for girlfriend, but students trying to learn something, searching for a cool project that is relevant to investigate. So I think if there's like a panel group of people that say, okay, these categories are important, cheap high towers, cost out projects, or more reliable towers, or safety, stuff like that. And then we have the proposals on the shelf, and if we upfront have the building blocks, then I think it's also easier to align. Also regarding tools, some people use Console, which is not open source, and other people use FEM. So also if we could share the tools, then it will be easier for each other to build upon each other and standing on each other's shoulders, so to speak. So to answer your question, I don't think we're really organized at the moment, and it would be great if we could maybe during the trip or during lunch or during years have also a small group together. Everybody's of course invited to see how we're going to do that.
I was I was talking to Matt yesterday, and I think I talked to maybe John about it, but just to go into the same way that you're talking about with our organization. A lot of the scientific community, we have the bad habit of publishing stuff on obscure papers that only we read and nobody else does.
We don't understand.
And people don't understand. And what if Women Empowerment could have its own obscure journal? Okay, said like that, it's not very sexy. But I mean, we can have newsletters to say what we're doing. That's great. But what if we had an actually publishing medium among ourselves, either for projects or like a magazine for Women Empowerment, but it's not without the objective of being a newsletter or just, hey guys, this is what we do. No, it's more like if we want to exchange information in a sort of in a scientific level where we could write down the methods that we use, how we use it, what we achieved as a result.
Like the website?
Like the website, for instance, yeah. That would be, but it needs to be peer reviewed. That's the point. It's not like you write it down, like people need to read it and prove that it should be posted or not.
Yeah.
Because without peer review, we're just going to saturate ourselves with information. We're never going to know what's about what. That's just a suggestion. Maybe that can help.
Yeah, exactly. This is precisely why we have redeveloped the websites, because it is a central platform that the fact that we're dispersed all the way across the world means it's very hard for us to work together. But having at least an online platform means there's one place that research that's currently being done can be reported and other people can know about it and get in touch with those people that are doing that research and collaborate. And also that we can publish research that's finished and to get peer review from our peers, many of whom are sitting around here today. So one of the new things that we'll be able to do in the website, which we probably could have done on the other one, but it was very complicated to do so. The whole idea, by the way, between redeveloping the website was to make it simpler, not just for users to access, but also for people to collaborate and to build the website, for you, our members, to build it. So the idea is that if you publish something on there, then that can be either be published straight away, or it can go for review from moderation before it's published. That way, for example, say I publish an article, I publish a blog post on data loggers, and Matt and Raphael are the geniuses with data loggers, so they are coordinating the working group here at the conference. So if I wanted to make sure that that article was or the post was completely correct, I would send that through the website to these guys and they could check it over, and then it will be published for other people to see. So on Thursday, I'm not going to talk too much more about the website here, but on Thursday you'll all be coming to see me and we'll be going through the website, walking through exactly how you can add content to it, and also it's a feedback session for you to tell me and the Wind Empowerment team how we can make the website work so that you can collaborate between each other.
In terms of how we communicate the work that we do with basically, an audience such as Wind Empowerment and so on, I think that's part of the question, right? So we have been facing a problem on that because all the dissertations that actually are maybe 100 or 150 page documents of all the work that each student has done, they are published in Greek. So that's one main obstacle that we face. For example, there are a lot of people who are interested in small wind in Greece, and they can go on the website of NTUA, and all the dissertations that happen every year and previous years, they are there and open to the public. So if we get somebody with a question or somebody finds that, we just direct them there, and they've got all the information there. So it's a challenge for us, obviously, to translate that. It's impossible, but we try to do like a 2 or 3 page summary in English. But it's not part of the work that the students are obliged to do. So we try to go into like a small student conference after the end of the dissertation, and just try to get the students to put an extra effort and make that in English. And all that information, at least the dissertations that we have managed to get into this 2 or 3 page summary in English, they are all uploaded and people can download them from our website, rural.net. So that's one.
Maybe an idea then is to do that also with Senegal. It's the same problem with all of the documents that are done in French, and to try to encourage to have at least a 1-page abstract, and then afterwards with the contact information of the student that did the project.
And can we put that abstract on the Wind Empowerment website? So say someone searches for generator bench testing on the Wind Empowerment website, it should come up with the students that have done bench testing projects at the NTUA. That can then link to the original Ruro posting of the article.
That's exactly the structure that we have in Ruro. We've got an abstract, the name of all the people involved, and you can download the small version in English or the big version in Greek. So it's just.
But I think making that link so that that information is available to people who aren't here at the conference now, who don't know that Ruro is a specialist in bench testing. So there's one central place, the Wind Empowerment website, where you can type in what you want to know about, and all of the research that's been done in that area comes up, a summary or the full article on the Wind Empowerment website, but at least a link so that someone knows that that stuff exists and where they can find it.
I'm just mentioning that this kind of structure that we're talking about already exists, but it's just a matter of Wind Empowerment website doing something similar and just transferring information.
Exactly, literally just copying and pasting it. It's already there, and Wind Empowerment is here to not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but just provide links to make sure that people know what all of this interesting stuff that's going on around the world.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. If, that's something that Fidel and you can take care of making sure it gets uploaded, and the students know that, okay, if you do a wind power project, here, put it on the site.
And then there is this second part, which has to do with models that are developed, which you will see on Thursday. So it's a goal of the group to create open source models, open source user interfaces that have all these models. And we've been working on that for many years, and now we are very close to publishing them. Thursday, first go.
And all of the models are in English?
The models are in are code. It's code which is which equations that describe the physical models, and all the comments are in English in the code.
Right. I was just wondering, do people keep track of all of the problems that they experience in the field? So is there detailed documents that documenting what's breaking and why it's breaking? And is there patterns of sort of correlation with this thing is always breaking or that thing is always breaking? Or is the faults of these things sort of very specific to the country that they're fit into?
I'll answer that. I can answer that.
For the moment, not really. We keep the record in our brain mostly, but we develop a new website. So we will have all the information. We will have a map, so Triponem website, so we can add links, and we will have a map with all the turbine, and we will have all the story of the turbine and all the problem the owner face. So.
Argentina.
Argentina?
Yeah, there was a talk about you investigated 100 or something. Or?
There is a web page about the organization.
No, pero dice acerca de los problemas que tuvieron los molinos, si hay como un registro de las cosas que se rompen más frecuentes.
In the Google Drive we have all the information, and we will compile all the information and we to then share it. But we are in progress. We are making surveys for all the people of the project about the Cerro Frigio, no?
Sí, en general el Paraná.
Ah, the permit? Ah, yes, but this is the other other information that we don't have. This information.
Like they're gathering it for this community, but like the big province project which is 1,500 turbines. I think John might know about that.
Yeah.
I think there are statistics about what
it exists. The government body that installed 1,500 turbines has a big database, and every time one of the users calls them and says, "Oh, my blade's broken or my batteries have worn out," they write that down in the database, and for every turbine they have a plot of when it's been operating, when it's out of service, and they have a big pie chart of the number of failures, number of turbines that are currently in service, but that are out of service and have to be completely replaced. They have all these different categories. This information exists.
Is this big turbines? We don't access this.
But this is precisely the problem.
Are you talking about Piggott turbines in Argentina?
No, this is 1,500